Imagine your brain as a garden. To keep this garden alive, it needs sunlight, water, and care. Intimacy works in much the same way. It nourishes the brain and helps emotions and thoughts flourish. Both emotional and physical intimacy release powerful chemicals like oxytocin and dopamine, which create feelings of connection, pleasure, and well-being. But what happens when intimacy is missing? That garden begins to dry up. The brain struggles without closeness, and the effects can be much deeper than we realize. Let's break it down. Stress and anxiety. When we experience intimacy, whether through a hug, a kind word, or physical closeness, our body releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. This chemical lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, helping us feel calm and safe. But without intimacy, cortisol stays high. Over time, this leaves you feeling anxious, restless, and emotionally drained. It's like your brain is stuck in fight or flight mode, always on alert. Chronic stress from this can even increase inflammation in the body and raise the risk of mental health struggles like depression. The pain of rejection. Lack of intimacy doesn't just make us feel lonely. It can actually make the brain believe we deserve to be alone. Neuroscience research shows that the anterior cingulate cortex, the area that processes pain, lights up during social rejection in the same way it does during physical pain. This means that when we miss out on emotional closeness, the brain reacts as if we've been physically hurt. And sadly, this can create a cycle. The more disconnected we feel, the harder it becomes to reach out to others, reinforcing isolation. Self-perception and negative thinking. Intimacy also shapes how we see ourselves. Think about it. When someone you trust reassures you, it strengthens your confidence. But without those close bonds, the brain fills in the silence with self-doubt. Studies show that a lack of connection overactivates the brain's default mode network, the part linked to daydreaming and self-reflection. But instead of positive reflection, it often leads to overthinking, criticism, and insecurity. Without intimacy, past interactions are replayed in our minds, often distorted with negativity. Stress regulation and memory. Close connections act as a natural stress buffer. Affection, whether through words, touch, or deep conversation, helps regulate the amygdala, the brain's fear center. Without this buffer, the amygdala becomes overactive, making stress feel overwhelming. Over time, this chronic stress can shrink the hippocampus, the brain area responsible for memory and emotional regulation. This makes it not only harder to handle stress, but also harder to calm down and recover after challenges. Pain and the body. Here's something fascinating. Intimacy doesn't just comfort emotions, it eases physical pain too. Touch, sex, cuddling, even friendly hugs release endorphins, the body's natural painkillers. One study found that migraine sufferers experienced relief after physical intimacy because of increased blood flow and dopamine release. Without regular affection, the brain misses out on these natural pain relief mechanisms, making discomfort feel worse. Relationship security. Lack of intimacy can also make relationships feel less stable. Normally, closeness and affection activate the brain's reward system, releasing dopamine and reinforcing trust. But without these signals, the brain struggles to gauge whether a bond is secure. This can lead to jealousy, clinginess, or withdrawal, even when there's no real reason to doubt the relationship. In other words, the absence of intimacy can create problems where none actually exist. Sleep and rest. Another hidden effect is sleep. Intimacy triggers oxytocin and prolactin, hormones that lower stress and promote relaxation. That's why people in affectionate relationships often enjoy deeper, more restful sleep. Without it, the brain stays on high alert, making it harder to fall or stay asleep. Over time, this leads to fatigue, irritability, and lower resilience to stress. The bigger picture. So, what do we learn from this? Your brain is designed for connection. Without intimacy, it struggles, leading to higher stress, negative self-perception, poor emotional regulation, worse pain tolerance, and even disrupted sleep. But here's the hopeful part. Rebuilding intimacy doesn't always mean romance. Deep friendships, meaningful conversations, and even showing compassion to yourself can nourish the brain. Your mind simply needs closeness to thrive. So here's a question for you. What's one small way you can bring more intimacy into your life today? Maybe it's calling a friend, hugging a loved one, or simply being kind to yourself. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mind Health and You for more insights into your mental and emotional well-being.